experience, my childhood memories, and now looking back on the restructured memories that a lifetime leaves behind one, doesn't have any negative qualities to it. There's no sense of exile. There's no sense of having left something. It's a sense of having come towards something. My parents, and I lived in a matriarchal family with a very strong, powerful mother, determined they would strike out into the world, leave the ruins of war behind them, and move to a new life. It was all forward-looking, it was never rearward-looking. They themselves, particularly my mother, never felt a pang of regret. They never decided, oh, we need to go back home, anything like that. They created a new reality. Of course, they brought a culture with them and cultural understanding, some of which they wouldn't have known, some of which they wouldn't have been able to identify. So that background certainly influenced the way I was brought up as a German Australian migrant. It's easy to look back now and pretend to have a wise old head on the shoulders. A lot of this stuff evolved over a period of time. And my thinking about the why and what and wherefores of what I was doing has been down some dead ends as well over those years and had to double back occasionally. A critic once said, when there were some pieces which are in this show in the Art Gallery of Western Australia, that it was furniture suitable for the Third Reich. I was enormously offended because to me, my whole iconography has been about benign silliness, or hearth gods, or friends at home. You know, here we are all together getting through the ceremony of our domestic life. I've often wondered, when objects are imbued with meaning, how much of that meaning can be determined by the maker and the initiator, and how much is accrued through association by the user and by contextualization and circumstance. Sister Mahali did all of his research where he showed that people most loved objects that were redolent with memory for them. Grandma's cup, Grandma's vase, the baby's shoe. Not the great artworks, not the expensive stuff, but the stuff that was imbued with memory. So the extent to which that memory was predetermined by the maker is highly questionable. And I've often in my work tried to blend that. I've tried to give the work serious intent, build it within my own narrative, but understanding that it will go into the world and accrue its own narrative. And it might, in that journey, lose the narrative I've sent it out with. I hope the works will go into the world and grow and be enriched and build a pattern of experience with other people. So in that sense, is that osmosis or is it more mannered than osmosis? I'm not sure, but it's certainly collective. So as you watch the way people build these stories around them, it becomes actually their reality. And that's what you were saying before about benign graffiti. Am I the graffitiist, or have I supplied the blank canvas for the observer and user and owner to put their graffiti on? I don't think either end of that spectrum is true in all cases. I think it can be anywhere along the spectrum. People, I have noticed at times, are puzzled by my work. You know, maybe one rationalizes in retrospect, but I've often thought the one thing you don't want to be is blancmange beige. Something that appeals to everyone has to, by nature, be fairly neutral. And if you're going to be in that slightly extraordinary area, and I think I have wanted that. I have wanted my brand to be extraordinary. Then it's got to be the either extreme. There are people who are going to love it, but you have to accept there are going to be people who hate it. So I guess the older me would look at the younger me of 38 up to 40 years ago and say, you've had enough at the good end not to be overcome with sadness or regret about the experiences at the other end. And you've pretty much, for the most part, avoided the beige in the middle. So that's a bloody good thing.